Hey guys, welcome to our channel Coders Arcade. In today's video, we are going to talk about debugger in VS Code. So, what do you mean by debugging? So, basically, debugger is a tool of any graphical IDE that is available for your particular programming languages. So, here in this case, I'm going to use VS Code because VS Code supports almost many of the languages. And if you talk about debugger specifically, debugger is present in many of the IDEs that are available right now, such as PyCharm and VS Code that we are using right here. And there are many of them, but specifically we are going to only learn about debugger in VS Code. So let us begin. So first of all, question arises, what is debugger and why is it used? So debugger is a tool, a specific tool that is used for debugging. Now you may ask that what is debugging? So debugging is the process of finding bugs. And what are the bugs? Bugs are the small problems in your program that you find while executing your program when your program is not written properly, or if there is something missing in your program, or is if there is any problem with some specific line or specific function or specific variable or anything in the program. That is what we call a bug. So debugging is a process of finding bugs and fixing it, and debugger is the tool that we use for debugging. So here in this case, we are talking about VS Code debugger. So here, as you can see, we are right now in the VS Code, and on the left hand side, as you can see, this is a workspace. So here inside a workspace, there are many different programs. And let me tell you that this is a Python program right now, and this is the directory for all the Python programs and Python programs that we were using in the Python English tutorial. So if you haven't watched that Python English tutorial, I'll recommend watching that, and I'll get the link in the description below for that. So let us see about debugger here. In this VS Code looks somewhat like this. So when you open the VS Code for the first time, you will be finding VS Code like this. So let us say we want to start debugging. So how we can do that? First, you need to go to the particular program that you want to debug. So this is the program. Let's say I want to debug onto this program. So here, this program has two variables called A and B, and the value for A is 10 and the value for B is 20. And there is one list created which contains the different values, so 1 to 5. And here there are different if else statement that we are using. So in this program, you can see that if A is in my list, then it is going to print A is in the list, and else it is not, A is not present in the list. Similarly, B is in the list. If B is there in the list, it is going to print the B that B is in the list. So it will check here that if value of A, which is 10, is in this list or not, and if that is in the list, it is going to print yes, it is in the list. Otherwise it is not going to print that. Otherwise it is going to print that it is not in the list. Similarly for B also, it will check if the 20 is present in this list or not, and if it's there, it is going to print that. If it's not there, and then it is going to print this this. So then we have done C equals to B divided by A. So C is another variable. So if we do C equals to B divided by A, so 20 divided by 10, which is 2, and in this case the value for C will be 2, and since the value for C, which is 2, is present in the list, it is going to print C is in the list. So let us see how we can use debugger onto this. I'm going to use this program for now to show you how a debugger works. In this tutorial, in this video, I am just going to give you an idea of using the VS Code debugger, and this video will be in parts. So in today's video and this video, this is going to be just an introduction to VS Code debugger, but in my next video, I am going to talk in more detail about VS Code debugger. So be ready for that. But before we jump into advanced debugging, which will be in the next video, I'm going to talk about simple debugging using this simple program. So let us begin. Suppose I want to debug this, and question arises how to debug now. So in different IDEs, there are different methods of opening a debugger. Generally, you want to see this option right here. In your VS Code, in your left panel right here, in the left hand side, in the side panel, you can see there are different icons, there are different options that are available. And here you can see that there is an explorer, there is a search button, there is a source control, there is this is what we call the debugger option, and this is the extension. So if I click onto this explorer, you can see that this is my workspace panel, and here all my programs are saved. If I go to search, then you can search anything that is available. You can search with the any keyword or anything in your program. You can search any settings as well from this search bar. You can search anything. Basically, you can search anything from this. If you click onto this source control, now you can use git repository in your VS Code. Then comes this debugger. So we want to look for this debugging option. So debugger icon should look like some play button, and on the play button there should be a bug icon right there. So this is how a debugger icon looks like. So you want to click onto this, and you will see that there is option called run and debug. So this is one of the way of debugging the program in VS Code. The another method is you can just go on to run, and you can see that it is showing me start debugging or run without debugging. So suppose if I want to run my program normally without debugging, I can just click on to run and then run without debugging. So if I click here, you can see it is going to run it without debugging my program. So here you can see that uh, A is not in the list is present, and B is not in the list is present, and C is in the list, so it is printed the C is in the list. I'll just minimize this. Now this is the way of running a program without debugging it. But let us say you want to debug it. So what I can do is I can just click onto this debugger option right here, and I can just select onto this run and debug. Remember this, that I'm using this Python script right here. So I'll just click onto this run and debug. Now it is going to ask what is the kind of file that we are debugging. So there are different options right here. So it has Flask, Pyramid, Fast API, Django, and there are many more. So right now I'm using the Python script. So I can just directly click onto this Python file, and it is going to start debugging. But here you can see that our debugger started and it closed automatically. Why this happened? Because right now we have not set any breakpoints. So what are the breakpoints? So you'll see here, if I bring my cursor here, you can see that there are different there is this red dot that is coming, and if you click onto that red dot, you can see now this red dot has been activated. Now you can see that this is what we call breakpoint. So what is a breakpoint? Breakpoint tells the debugger where to stop. So if there is no breakpoint, you will see that a debugger will start running it and and it is going to execute the full program in one shot, and it is going to be closed automatically because it doesn't know where to stop. So why do we use this breakpoint? First of all, it tells the debugger where to stop and where you want to check a particular code. So suppose I want to check what is in the list here. So right now our list is visible, but still I want to will see what is happening here in the my list. So I can just put one breakpoint here. Now debugger knows where to stop. So once I run this debugger, it will execute these two lines, and it is going to stop on this particular my list, which is the third line, and it is going to show what is happening onto this line. So we can just thoroughly check what is happening onto my list, and you can add as many as breakpoints as you want. So let us say if we want to see this if statement as well. So all the if statement, all the if else statement, I can just put on wherever I want, like this. So I've put all these multiple breakpoints. Now our program, our debugger will know that where to stop. So now if I run it, debug it, you can see it is asking me the type of the file. So if I click onto this Python file, now you can see that it is onto our first breakpoint. So now you can see now that there are different tools right here. So on the right hand side, you can see now you can change the position of these tools as well. So these are the debugging tools, and here these are the controls for your debugger. So as you can see on the line third, it is highlighted with the yellow color. So that means that this is the line where our debugger has stopped. And you can see that there are different panels here. First one is the variable panel, the second one is the watch panel, and the third one is the call stack panel. So once you start debugger, these are the different options that you get, and these are the controls for that. So let us see what happens here. So this is first the variables panel. So here, whatever variables are there into your programs will be shown here. So at and only those variables will be shown till where your program has been executed. Suppose my program right here is right now it is in my line third, so it is going to only show these two variables. Why? Because right now the other part of the program is not yet executed. That is why it is going to show me the value of a and value of b right here. You can see on the left hand side of your screen in your variables panel, you can see a equals to 10 and b equals to 22. So it is showing me what is happening here. And in my list yet, right now we are onto my list, but yet it is not executed yet. To execute it, we need to step over. So there are different options right here. You can see we have step over, we have, first of all we have continue, then we have step over, then we have step in, then we have step out, and then we have restart our debugger, and then we have stop our debugger. So if I click onto this step in, you can see that our my list has been executed. This my list has been executed, and now the debugger have moved to the next line right here, and you can see that in our variables panel my list has been written here. So let us say if I point my, you can see if I point my cursor onto my list, it is going to show me what is the different list item here. So you can see that there are in my list it is 1 2 3 4 5, and now if I click onto this step over, it has not gone to the if statement directly, it has gone to the end of the else statement. Why? Because stepping over means stepping over different statements directly. So it is not going to go inside the if statement, it is going to jump onto the next empty statement which is there for the ending statement for the if statement. So right now the ending statement for the if else is the else statement inside our else statement. So it is right now into our else statement. So let's say we are going to jump over again. So if I jump over again, it is on this if else statement, and now if I again jump over this, it is going to jump over the next breakpoint. Why? Because the breakpoint is here onto this print statement. Suppose if I click onto this, if I remove this breakpoint, and now if I step over, you can see it is directly going to jump onto the next one, because it is not going to go inside if statement. To go inside, you need to click onto this step into. So when you click onto this step into, it is going to go inside that particular function, and then it is going to show you what is happening into that particular function. But if you step over, it is going to jump over different functions or different statements that are available for you, but it is not going to go inside that particular statement or particular function or whatever it is. But it is not going to go inside that particular statement or function. So to go inside a particular statement, you need to click on to step into. So I'll show you in a second, in a moment right here. So right now, if you can see that once I have clicked onto this step over, it is onto this c equals to b divided by a. Now you can see there's nothing here to do, nothing here to see right here in the variables panel. You can see if I step over again, now it is going to show me what is the value of c here. So you can see this is the value of c, which is 2 in this case, and if I bring my cursor right here, you can see it is going to show me the value. So this is the value for b and this is the value for a, and if I hover it onto the c, it is going to show me the value of c, which is updated here. Now you see this is the use of variables panel. It is going to show me all the variables right here. Now suppose you want to watch over some particular variable. Let's say you want to watch over to the c variable. So what you can do is, here inside a watch window, you can add this particular c variable, and you can see that it is going to stick over to the c variable, and it is going to continuously show the value of that particular c when you are on a particular step onto your program. Now you see here on the right hand side in your code editor, you can see that we are onto this if statement, right? So if you want to go inside this if statement, you need to click on to step into. So once you click onto this step into, now you can see that we are inside our print statement. If I would have clicked onto this step over, it would have gone to this point A, this point right here. So instead, when we clicked on to step into, it has jumped into this if statement, and it has started executing this particular statement instead of skipping this whole if statement. Now if I want to come out of this, I can just click onto this step out, and it is going to end up program, because after this there is nothing to execute, and there is nothing, and there is no breakpoint after this, and there is nothing to execute here. So it is going to step out of the program and it is going to stop our debugger. So this is how a debugger works basically in your VS Code. Let me debug it again and show you one more time the remaining windows here. So right now you can see again I've started my debugger, and right now we are onto my list right here. So still my list right here is not executed. That is why it is not going to show me the list which is there. So if I step over it, you can see now my list is available. But right now in this watch window, you can see we added this C variable, right? So here in this C variable, it is giving us the name error. Name C is not defined. Why it is not defined? Just because we are not, just because we have not reached till there, and this line is not been executed yet. That is why it is showing me the error. Once we reach there, using our step over again and again, you can see it is going to show me the value because it is now executed right here. So this is what watch window does. It can watch over a particular variable. Whether it is not executed or executed, it is going to show the current value of that particular variable in watch window. So using this watch pane, you can watch over any variable or anything that you want to watch particularly. Now you can see that this is call stack, and this is the another window. This is a little bit complicated thing. So it shows you in what function or what part of the program you are in. Right now we don't have any functions right here in this program defined, so it is of no use for us. So in my next video I'm going to show it properly in my next detailed video. So right now you can we can skip this, and you can see there is another window called breakpoint. So it is going to show us the different breakpoints that we are using into a program. You can see if I again step over, you can see it has stepped over onto this, and you can just again, if I stepped over, you can see there is nothing to execute. That is why we have came out of a debugger. So this way you can use the debugger. If I run it again, you can see this step, this is the continue button. So if you click onto this continue button, it is going to go on to the next breakpoint which is available, and you can use the step over button to step over one by one. If you click onto this step, and it is going to step into this loop, or you can see whatever function you are in right now, it is going to step into it. If you click onto this step out, it is going to step out of that function, and it is going to go to another step. If you click onto this restart, it will restart the debugger like this, and you'll be restarting your debugging from scratch. And if you click onto this button right here, it is going to stop your debugger like this. So I hope you have understood the basics of debugging in this video. If you have any doubts, I'll clear your doubts in your comment section, and I hope you followed well. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. So this is all about this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you like the video, and if you like it, then tell us in the comment section below. If you have any doubts, then post them in the comment section. I will definitely try to clear those doubts. Also, like, share and subscribe to our channel Coders Arcade, and press the bell icon so that you will get a notification when we post our new video. Thank you. Happy learning.